Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where this time we're going to be taking a look at a question asking, what if Luke Skywalker had turned to the dark side? This is one of the biggest what ifs in all of Star Wars. Star Wars is defined by moments, choices, the actions taken by characters when the Force leads them to a decision. And Luke has always chosen the right decisions, but what if he didn't? What if he did strike down his father and join Palpatine's side, caving into his hatred and his anger? And I think his path would have actually followed his father's very closely. I don't know if he would have been injured to the point of being put in a suit like Vader, but anything is possible. But consider this scenario. Luke Skywalker strikes down his father, joins Palpatine. His friends on the forest moon of Endor are then wiped out. The Rebel Alliance are wiped out. And these are all people that Luke cared for deeply. We know what lengths he went to protect his friends, to come to their aid in times of danger. And I think that would further fuel him into the dark side, knowing that he's made this terrible choice. His friends are gone. Any hope of defeating the Empire, of defeating the Emperor, is now destroyed. And I think living with that hate, with that anger, with that regret would really define Luke as a Sith. Um, and it would be really interesting because he definitely is close to the power level of Anakin in his prime, but he does not have the physical limitations that Vader had once he was put into the suit. So Luke would become very powerful if just unchecked into the dark side. And I actually think at some point he would overthrow Palpatine and kill him. Perhaps Palpatine would find a way to be able to control Luke the same way that he was able to control Vader. But I actually think Luke would defeat Palpatine, and then Luke would be that sole dark side ruler of the galaxy, which would be absolutely terrifying because you have one of the most powerful force users in the known universe ever, with unchecked power, at the top of the empire, just ruling and basically being able to do whatever he would want to do. And the thing about Luke is known for his forgiveness, compassion, the things that he believes in, he really believes in. But those are also things that can be used for the dark side, and that's kind of what Vader tries to do in their duel in Return of the Jedi with bringing up Leia and kind of tempting Luke into tapping into that anger and that dark side energy because he threatens to kill Leia, kill his friends. So the potential for the dark side in Luke has always been there. The Dark Empire storyline kind of follows that, where Luke does fall to the dark side, serving the Emperor in a kind of a roundabout way, um, but it's different. It's not like that was a huge moment in the Force where Luke had to make a decision, like we saw in Return of the Jedi. That was more of just Luke kind of experimenting and finding his way back to the light after just succumbing to the persuasions of Palpatine, which it is unfortunate that Palpatine has the ability to manipulate these, really heroic characters into making bad decisions. That's something we've seen time and time again in the Star Wars lore. But yeah, Luke on the dark side would be terrifying. I think the story would pretty much end with no hope for any type of rebellion or redemption, because if you think about it, there would be no one left to try to redeem Luke. He doesn't have his aunt and uncle anymore. They were killed on Tatooine. Ben Kenobi and Yoda are now gone into the Force. It's possible they might try to come back and talk to him and try to bring him back to the light, but We don't really know the extent of what impact Force ghosts can have when reacting with the real world. So that leaves a little bit to be debated. Han, Leia, other members of the rebellion, they would be dead and gone by this point. So Luke wouldn't really have anyone to be able to bring him back like Anakin did. And that's probably the most dangerous part of if he fell to the dark side, because it would truly be over, you know? Unless he was able to just find his way back on his own, which is possible, I really don't see an outcome in which Luke could come back from that. And that's why that decision was so key and so important for him to make the right decision, because that truly would have reshaped the entire outlook of the Star Wars universe. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I really like the idea of the different timelines that could happen because of character choices. This being really one of the worst possible ones, but it's interesting nonetheless when you consider Luke Skywalker as a character and compare him with his father. That's always something that's really fascinating to me. So, but that's going to be it. I appreciate you watching the video. If you want to see more content, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate you watching this video. Now, may the force be with you. Let's blow up that like button and go home.